Your ego will argue, but true leaders will navigate argumentative environments. It's not progress. Why? Because you have insecure people defending. And they lose the mission. Why? Because they put their identity in the mission, and that's not where it's supposed to be. When you have people that has identified themselves as the mission, and you talk about the mission, you talk about the goals and processes, and they start feeling affected, this is why. Because they have misconstrued their identity, and they have became into the process of doing something, and they have allowed themselves to believe that what they are doing equates to their identity, but it doesn't. Who you are and who you are to be is not what you do. What you do is an extension of you, but if you want to exceed in things, you must liberate yourself from the fact that your mission, your vision is not your identity. It's simply part of your personality. I created the execution playbook for leaders and high performers to hit bigger goals faster with less wasted effort. Now let's get into the show. We are now starting credos 46 through 50. This is the halfway point. We are actually entering the halfway point. This is at the end of this episode. We will be halfway through the 100 credos. And thank you for being here. I enjoy doing this with you. And I pray that you have grown exponentially as a leader. So let's get into it. Credo 46. Keke says, first impressions are lasting impressions. Put your best foot forward. People treat you like you teach them to treat you. A success key is positioning yourself at the top of their agenda. You want people to respect you, to honor you. You want people to speak with you and speak about you when you are not around. And in an honorable manner, you must learn how to make first impressions. Keke says, first impressions are lasting impressions. Put your best foot forward. Have integrity. Do what you're supposed to do. Honor your words. Because your first impression will create lasting impressions. The first time you speak to a person, the first words that come out of your mouth determines the relationship and how that relationship will be stewarded. If you believe that you can mundanely interact with people without intentionality, you have been deceived and you have been misconstrued from what is important. When you approach a person, when you have a first impression, when you meet a person, if you don't communicate the standards early, you will lose respect later. If you do communicate, these are the standards of our transformational or transactional relationship. Then you will have the respect. Why? Because there is a unified, cohesive pathway created between two people with full clarity and full understanding of what's going on. And there isn't a misconception on the activity between both parties. We have to be a people with honesty, integrity. And when we stand before another person, we don't falsify our beliefs. We don't pretend. We don't lack honesty. We're not liars with ourselves and the people around us. But we present ourselves through who we believe we are and who we believe we are to be. We are not pretending to fit in. We are not derived by the energy of insecurity, driven by the energy of insecurity to fit in, to be pleased, to look apart. No, no. I'm not saying you should walk around pumping your chest on how you're different and how you never fit in and how you're a loner. No, I'm not saying that. What I am saying is you have to set the standard in the beginning. You have to treat the energy, the receptivity of people with honor. I'd rather not stand before a person and lie to you about who I am. Why? Because we are going to lose respect eventually. Why? Because everything that is built upon this transaction or this relationship is falsified. It's like selling something to someone and you're manipulating them with lies. They're eventually going to find out. And then you're going to have to deal with the frustrating pressure later. And so why do we do that in the beginning? Why do we want to surround ourselves with people that we are not in alignment with? Now, this is the thing. If you are in it to manipulate and you're that person, if your goal is to have covert, hidden manipulation to get your way, then yeah, this will work for you in a way of being in circles transactionally where you are gatekeeping who you truly are. If you are a spy or like for the CIA or whatever, yeah, these things would be beneficial. But if you're looking for harmonious, healthy, transformational relationships, you can't do this here. And we have to understand the alignment. We have to understand alignment. When you first interact with a person, you are setting the battleground, the standard, the rule book, the contingencies and contracts on how they will treat you. Rather, if they know how they are doing it or by default, either it's consciously or subconsciously, they will understand how to treat you. With your jargon, with the words that you use, the things you proclaim before them, it will set a treaty or how we will interact with each other. Hey, brother. Hey, sister. Let me tell you. Let me advocate to you on how this is going to go. I'm not going to negotiate with things that I am not in alignment with. In energy circles that drains me, that are disempowering, I don't interact with those. I focus on the vision and I keep going. And I don't allow things to drain me constantly over and over again. What I'm saying here is you cannot be in front of people and act like you're different. But you're not. But you also can't be in front of people and act like you're the same when you are different. You have to be in alignment. And the treaty, the agreement, the subconscious agreement. What is a subconscious agreement? Relationship. A covenant relationship. Hey, we are spending time together. We are investing into our relationship, our energy, our connection. We are investing time and resources into this. And so there has to be some kind of agreement or we wouldn't ever invest time into it. So what does that mean? Am I in this with honesty? Because if I don't enter with honesty, I will lose respect later. Your positioning is your influence before you ever speak a word. When you walk into the door, your ideologies, your suppositions are the things that will allow a person to have an impression on you. And whatever that first impression is going to be your lasting impression. Credo 47. Keke says, the right thing is usually not the easy thing to do. You may sacrifice popularity for rightness, but you'll lose self-esteem for wrongness. Don't be afraid to say no. Lose the hype. Don't be driven by trends. Hopping on trains without mission. Hopping on agendas that leads to nowhere. Don't be caught up in chasing the wind. Don't do it. We so easily want to fit in as people. One of our greatest things is to not be ignored and to seek approval. To seek approval. Adaptation. To be adaptive into something. To be wholesome in a thing. To be connected in a thing. To have that fit. To fit in. But that's not normally the right thing. Because why? Because fitting in doesn't require growth. But growth requires sacrifice. So the right thing is normally the opposite of fitting in. It's being who you are designed to become. Who you are designed to be. We all get that friction. And we all have a diminutive spot of time when we are in a first impression moment and we are presented before other people. We have the option of, do we cave in for popularity? Or do we cave in to doing the right thing? And Keke says, if you sacrifice popularity for rightness, you will lose self-esteem. Why? Because you are building your house on counterfeit. You're going to try to cash in the variables, but the variables will pay not. You're trying to do things according to vision, according to hype, but you're not. Everything you're doing is out of counterfeit resources that holds no value. And if you want true value, you want to lead, you want to be impactful, you must build on true resources, on gold, diamonds, resources that you cannot manipulate. Okay? Integrity can be often lonely before it's legendary. Now, I'm not saying that leadership is lonely, because it shouldn't be. You should be able to lead people, to galvanize people to be a part of your circle. But having integrity, doing the right thing, is often lonely before it gets popular. And you cannot lie to yourself about, this is the biggest virus we have as people, mentally and emotionally, is we enjoy lying to ourselves. We enjoy it. It's not that we do it, but we appreciate lying to ourselves. What I mean, we love to say things like, well, I have integrity, or I want to do the right thing, or I have vision, or I'm committed. We're not. When a new trend comes up or new hype comes up to get us off vision, off the focus, we jump on that and we spend months, like New Year resolutions. I'm not against those. But an abundance amount of people that have those things don't continue. Why? Because it's just hype energy. Not vision, not focus, not commitment. And Keck is just saying, integrity is often lonely. Integrity is often boring. Doing the right thing is often boring before it's legendary, before you get credit. Before you get credit for being on stage one time, no one sees the 1,000 days in a row that you had to do the right thing. Okay? I'm speaking from experience here. This is practical stuff for you to level up. You want to level up? Perfect your private times. Perfect the things that no one sees. Who cares about the audience? Who cares about the recognition? I'm not doing it for the recognition. I don't care about that. I do it for the love of the game. I do it for the love of the process, the vision, the mission, because I enjoy it and I believe in it. I'm committed to it. And I would do it lonely before it's legendary. Because once it's legendary, a lot of hype energy comes. A lot of people hop on a bandwagon. So understanding your psyche, if you're committed to doing the right thing, you're going to have to commit to integrity in your small things before you have legendary in the big things. Self-respect triumphs social approval. Your ability to say, I don't care about your approval, and I don't care about your disapproval. Doesn't matter. None of it matters. I am impervious of these things. I am unaffected. I am a rock. I am solid. I don't move by I appreciate those, yeah, but they don't move me. My life isn't built on social approval. Because why? Because my approval comes from thyself and the Father in heaven. Period. I don't need your approval. I don't care. It doesn't move me. Thank you, yes, but it doesn't move me. It doesn't make me feel better or greater. None of it matters. Why? Because I don't build my house on that. I only appreciate that. Thank you. Now I appreciate you for saying that. But it doesn't dictate my ability to succeed or not. It doesn't. It only harnesses in an environment that at the end of your resources, which means on your hard days, you have extra things to pick you back up. But your house cannot be built on that. Why? Because you will fail if you do. Social approval is not meant to be a foundation. And we have created it as a foundation. It is not. Self-approval is simply the thing that we must use as last resources. We have to use as harnesses when we are in positions where things are crazy. We have an environment that gasses us up, as people say, that enriches us, that spurs us on. Yes, now that is good. But I would not build my house on social approval. Okay? No is a boundary that protects your future. Keke says, don't be afraid to say no. Don't be afraid. No is one of the most powerful words we can use. Impactful. Because it literally cuts out the weeds. You want vision? Say no more. No, of course, no to the right things and more commitment to the right things. Say no to the things that you don't need to be doing that doesn't add up. And say yes more often to your verticals. The things that are important according to your vision and your promises. No is a boundary that protects your future. But it's also something you must respect. And if you don't respect it, then it won't honor you. Why? Because the no will generate you focus, energy about the things that matters most. But if you don't respect it, it will not respect you. Okay, Credo 48. Credo 48. Keke says, if someone lies to you once, he will lie to you 1,000 times. Lying is for thieves and for cowards. A liar will show you who they are. Believe it the first time. Now, before we get into this part, I'm not saying people never change. I'm not saying that if a person is a liar, they're always that way. But I am saying that a person that is intriguingly wired to perpetually and subconsciously operate in the sequence of a liar is normally going to lie. If a person ratio of lying is 8 to 10, then when you should expect their ratio also to be 16 out of 20. You should expect that. Don't be foolish. You should expect that. It's just simple math. It's not saying, I'm saying because of what you do, Johnny. We'll bring Johnny back. Because of what you do, Johnny, you have produced these fruit, dangerous, vicious fruit. You have produced venomous, poisonous fruit. And because of that, according to your behaviors and your operations, I know what you're going to produce next, according to what you're already producing. Change is slow. If you ever see someone trying to saying that they've just changed, it happens fast. It can. So every once in a while, there's some things that has to take place for someone to totally do a 180 shift. But what I'm saying is, if you have a liar that's always lying and they're pretending that they are so different right now, unless Jesus has eradicated enhanced their lives and cleansed, other than that, it doesn't happen. And a good manipulator will manipulate you through covert tactics to show you that they are not a liar when they are. Protect your environment. Protect yourself. Because a person that operates one way is immune to getting out of that process. They have habitual patterns in their operation. Trust is earned slowly, but is broken instantly. For leaders and high performers, for people that you leave people. Trust is earned slowly. It's like your credit. If you're at a 720, 850, 600, you understand. Credit takes time. Like your financial credit. It takes time to build. Right? It must be perpetual, constant, years of doing the right things over and over again. Small things, stacking over time, many years just to build up to something ideal. But one treacherous behavior will devour the whole process of that. Same thing here. Trust is the same as credit. Takes time to build. It's a slow build. But it can be broken instantly. It can be shattered. I'm not saying it can't be put back together, but I am saying it can be shattered by one vicious, unaligned from vision behavior. And you must understand that if someone lied to you once, he'll lie to you 1,000 times. Keke says, lying is for thieves and cowards. It's how they operate. Yes, people can change, but don't let them manipulate you and lying about their change. Don't allow your hope to be deferred and your heart to be made sick because you trust constantly. As Einstein says, insanity is expecting something different from something that's constant, expecting something to change when the cause has never changed. Okay? Credo 48 or 49. Protect what isn't yours. Respect what isn't yours. Keke says, have strict and total respect for other people's property. Simple. I'm going to honor you for who you are. I'm going to respect you for who you are. It doesn't mean that you have to be embedded into my life over here. It doesn't mean I need you, but for you as a human, I'm going to honor and respect you. I'm not going to drag your name through the mud. Why? Because when people drag others' name through the mud, they're dragging their own. Nasty, filthy mentalities that degrade one another. Foolish. You only hate others because you hate yourself. So learn how to honor people. Learn how to honor one another. If you can't honor a person, shut up. Just don't say anything. Now, if there's a person that's simply a disempowering linchpin of the world, if they are something that is an advocate of the detrimental things of the world, then yeah, you may want to speak out about it. But watch out and be careful on this, because you and yourself may just be operating in the same vessel that they are too. I don't need to tear other people down to find my traction. Because at the end of the day, I will never win. Because my goal is to tear them down. And I will never feel better than them unless I tear them down. What a sick mentality. I see no fruit in that. There's no health, love, peace, kindness. It doesn't operate in that. Foolish. Leaders who go out of their way To protect what isn't theirs will be trusted with more. Let that soak in. Leaders who protect and go out of their way for what isn't theirs will be trusted with more. Will be. Credo 50. The last credo for the half. Credo 50. Congrats to you. Here we go. Kekit says, producing results is more important than proving you're right. To get things done, try to understand others' frame of references, point of view, needs, and wants. Then determine what is honest, fair, effective, and rational, and act accordingly. Your ego will argue, but true leaders will navigate argumentative environments. It's not progress. Why? Because you have insecure people defending. And they lose the mission. Why? Because they put their identity in the mission, and that's not where it's supposed to be. When you have people that has identified themselves as the mission, and you talk about the mission, you talk about the goals and processes, and they start feeling affected, this is why. Because they have misconstrued their identity, and they have became into the process of doing something, and they have allowed themselves to believe that what they are doing equates to their identity, but it doesn't. Who you are and who you are to be is not what you do. What you do is an extension of you, but if you want to exceed in things, you must liberate yourself from the fact that your mission, your vision is not your identity. It's simply part of your personality. Period. People argue and have ego for foolish reasons, and they lose traction because they simply have insecurity ruling their lives. Don't. Understand, when there's a discussion, there's a disagreement about a thing, it's not against you. It's about the thing. And you are not the thing. You simply are a part of the thing. And more of the thing is simply a part of you. It's a part of your life, but not you. Lose that. This is the problem we get. Culture teaches this. Why? Because you get people, what are you going to be when you grow up? Well, I'm going to be this, that. No, that's not who you're going to be. Be is something that you identify in, that you're consumed in, that hovers over you, that consumes you. If I'm going to be something, I better be very precise in what I say after that. Why? Because anything that I say that I will serve, I will make a God over my life. And what we do with our goals and missions to be like, okay, I am a therapist. I am these things. No, that's not who you are. It's something that you do. Okay? You can't be many things. You can be who you are. Those things are not changeable. Okay? Why am I saying this? Because Keke says it is more important to produce results than proving you're right. It's more important to focus on the vision. It's more important to focus on the process, to focus on what's happening, to focus on how to get better than trying to be right. And ego gets in the way of that. Ego is disgusting, and it gets in the way of that. So if you want to get things done, try to understand others. Frame of references, why they believe what they believe. How can they come up to this conclusion? What factors have played into their life to allow them to see the world through this lens? Their point of view. If I draw a 6 on the ground and I have my friend stand on the other side, my 6 will look like a 9 to him. So I must understand from his point of view what he is seeing, because he sees a 9, I see a 6. Both parties are right in that sense, in that instance. So how can I understand him? Needs, wants, agendas. We have to seek to understand. If we want to get things done, if you want to, you have to understand people. Then you determine what is true, what is fair, and what is rational. And then Keke says here, which is very important. He says, after you have alignment, then you act accordingly to the plan, to the process, and to the goal and values of what needs to be done. Don't build your vision of ego because you believe this is what's right. No, it doesn't matter what you think. What matters is what the party thinks and what is the health rating of the party. Who is healthy, who is not. That is the importance. Understanding will create influence. Understanding will create this ability to influence people. Why? Because now I see what you are seeing. I know why you got here. And if your processes are unhealthy, I can help you navigate throughout that. But I cannot do that if I don't see why you have cooked up to this position. If a person is making a dinner, they're making food, and I come in and I say, "Oh, this is disgusting. I have ego. Oh, this is disgusting. This isn't right. You didn't cook this right." But I don't understand how to make it. How can I help this person? Okay? You have to stop it if you are doing this. If you are a leader, if you are a participator in any agenda, you must not come forward with your first impression of spreading your ego with lack of understanding. You want to understand, you want to have influence, you must understand people and how they got there. Because you never can help the cook if you don't understand the process of him cooking. Results will come from clarity, empathy, and action. You want results, you must be clear on what the results needs to be and what are the actionable processes that needs to happen. You must have empathy with people. You must believe the one idea that people make the best decision that they are able to. And then there must be action. You must have action. If you're not acting, nothing happens. There's no movement. And there's no traction to move forward. So here's your weekly goal or challenge. Protect your integrity. Protect your integrity and pursue results in the hidden moment, not approval from the stage. And say no where it matters to you. And trust the people who show you fruit, and focus on clarity and understanding over ego. Let not your ego drive you, but let vision and honesty and empathy drive you with the topping of clarity. That's all I have for you this week. I'll talk to you later. Deuces.